1, 2, 3, 4!
Welcome to Cog Talk, a podcast brought to you by Cogstop Productions, home of podcasts, tabletop, and geek talk. 12 Years Hollow, the Cog Talk theme, is written and performed by Bear Ghost. To listen to this track and more, check out www.facebook.com/BearGhostAttacks. Hi, welcome to Cog Talk, a Cogstop Productions podcast. I'm Patrick.
Scott?
Yes, that's Scott.
And you are?
Not Scott.
You're an idiot. I'm Scott, that's Josh.
And welcome to a big clusterfuck at the start. Before we start our podcast, we just want to say that our hearts and thoughts go out to the friends, family, and fans of Robin Williams. We did get the news earlier today of his unfortunate passing, but, you know, we're going to miss him. He was a very strong comedian, and it's just a very shitty thing. Like, I'm still getting over the news myself.
Yeah.
So we want to take this first kind of topic to talk about our favorite Robin Williams movies. So, if there are no volunteers, I will go first. And by far, I have to say, because it's the one I've watched the most, Hook. Even though it was a flop in the theaters, it is just one of those movies that are just so freaking good. Yes,
I agree with you on that.
It is. Like, it is.
Just picturing him in the Greek tights.
Oh, it was the weirdest things to see him in. And I think that was Julia Roberts
Tink?
Tink?
Yes.
Yeah. Weirdest Tink ever.
Yeah.
Did not like her as Tink. But Robin Williams as Peter Pan? Fuck yes. Yes, and Rufio was a dickbag until he died. And then I felt really bad that he died. Like, that's all I have to say about Rufio. He had cool hair, he was a complete asshole, and then he died.
A lot of birds died for his outfit, too.
Yeah, but fuck birds.
But fuck birds?
Yes, but fuck birds.
Why would you say that?
How do you think he got the feathers?
Fuck the birds?
You gotta be close.
Is it really necessary to be that close to the bird?
He didn't know that.
Scott.
Scott, go.
Dead Poet Society.
Oh, Captain, my Captain?
Yes, Oh Captain, My Captain. Hands down my favorite Robin Williams movie. It's a powerful story. It was a great script, and I still to this day cannot find anything I don't like about it.
Did he win an Emmy for that one?
I think he got an Oscar.
Yeah.
Which one's the Emmys again? Emmys is TV, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Then what's the Tonys?
Something stupid.
It's when Tony Danza and Tony Montana... I'm not going to finish that joke because I don't know the guy's last name.
What about the
Montana?
Academy Awards?
Scott, go.
I already went. You want to get another one?
Yes.
Aladdin.
Ooh. You had that one to the chamber.
I did. That's my number 2.
Did he win an Oscar for that one?
No.
See, that's how that other piece of the conversation should have went. Totally. I am fully on track today. Before we get into Josh's, for those of you joining us, this is our triage episode.
Yes.
Because myself, Josh, we also had Big Dick Rob and Game On Eileen, which you can catch her at this YouTube channel, went to record and the camera failed halfway through. And by the camera, I mean me. I forgot to plug it in. So it was totally me. And after that, the audio failed. So, no, the audio wasn't me. Fuck you. But, yeah, so this is our episode to try and compensate for that. We got the emergency crew here, so we didn't have any other choice but to bring Scott back. We were trying to replace him, but the other two weren't available. So
Didn't
now
work.
he's-
You got to have this right here.
Yeah.
It doesn't work without this. It's mainly the beard.
Manly, which you've lost since the last episode.
Job interview.
Ah, fancy that. So,
You know-
what's your favorite Robin Williams movie, Josh? Nope. You've got none?
You don't have one?
No, I have one. My absolute favorite is What Dreams May Come.
That's actually a really good one.
I love those type of movies where they are exploring like what the concept of death is and all that. And there's the fact that there is still some kind of struggle to be had after you've passed,
Yeah,
which was for him, finding his wife who was his soulmate.
yeah, and that brought into
And his black Cuba Gooding Jr. son.
that's one part I didn't like about the movie. Spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen What Dreams May Come. You could turn off the video now, go watch it, come back. Make sure you come back. I'm counting on you.
They're not coming back.
They're never coming back. So let's talk about those dick bags while they're gone. No, it set into something that I never considered before about the afterlife is like you make your own heaven. So like Robin Williams' version of heaven, like his little piece, his little real estate on it, was some of his wife's paintings.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a really creative thing to do with the scenery and stuff like that. He's like walking through paint because it is literally a painting and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially as it's just first being generated.
Yeah.
Is the easiest way to say it is until he like refines and fully develops his idea. It's these wet paint colors, and he can make a mess of it all. And he does.
And he does.
And he almost drowns.
But yeah, the spoiler alert that we're getting to, so second spoiler alert, if you didn't go watch What Dreams May Come, now is your last chance. Your very last chance. After this, it is gone. It will no longer be on Netflix. So the spoiler alert is that everyone in heaven evidently decides to fuck with Robin Williams by being someone else from his life. But it's because it's...
Is that what happened?
It's pretty much like, I'm your son, but I don't think that you would trust me if I was your son, so I took the form of your best friend.
Okay.
And then the best friend's like, oh, I didn't think that you would trust me as, your best friend, so I took the form of your mentor.
Okay, because
Like, everyone is everyone else.
I watched that movie for the first time 2 months ago, and that was pretty confusing for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite keeping up on that.
Yeah, that was hard for me to understand as a child because I saw it when I was really young, and then I saw it later,
Yeah.
and so I finally understood it. But it was basically their own doubts. They were hiding from him in that way
Yeah.
because they asked him to do some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, but my problem with it is that it got revealed at the like crash end, and I hate movies that do that. Like biggest offender in my mind was Lucky Number 11. Second spoiler alert: you don't have to go and watch that one. It is actually one of the worst Bruce Willis movies I've ever seen in my life. So for those of you who liked Lucky Number 11, we'll miss you too.
I won't.
And now that those
never
dick
got
bags
to
are
know you.
and now that those dick bags are gone, let's talk about them behind their backs. Lucky Number 11 did this series of twists at the end where it's like, oh, he's gonna think that you're dead, but you're not dead, and you're gonna run with me. And then like Bruce Willis shows up and he's like, I knew that you would think that I would think that you're dead, so I didn't do that. And instead, I thought that you were dead, but now I'm gonna let you go anyways because I love you. it was just one of those like endings that were like twist, 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 but it happened in like a span of like 3 to 5 minutes.
Was M. Night Shyamalan on Speed?
Was M. Night Shyamalan in that movie?
Or
Or do you think that, like, for some reason he was on Speed somewhere in the universe and, like, somewhere else, like, someone got, like, possessed? He's like, oh, and, like, crapped out that movie
I would believe it.
from the, like, ancestral spirit of M. Night Shyamalan on meth.
Oh,
M. Night Shyamalan on meth might actually be the most metal band name that I've ever heard in my life. I would totally go to a concert if it was like now playing Metallica and M. Night Shyamalan on meth.
But they would sound metal, seem metal, then they'd be like the equivalent of the Wiggles.
See,
Because what a twist!
What a twist!
thank you. No, but my thing would be like they'd be like Austrian Death Machine, where they would just summarize M. Night Shyamalan movies into metal songs. So it'd be like, everyone was dying, but it turns out it was trees. Fuck trees.
Yeah. Okay, that'd be entertaining.
It'd be better. It'd be better than if there was a ska punk band that did the same thing. Oh, Mr. Glass, he's a pain in my ass.
I would actually
I'm
really like
already
that.
putting horns to it.
I would enjoy that.
So, for those of you who are just tuning in, hi, we have just talked about Robin Williams, Lucky Number 11, M. Night Shyamalan on meth, and ska punk. So, welcome to the show. We don't know what the fuck's going on either.
I have to ask you a question. You're like, people are tuning in. How do you tune into either of these in the middle?
That's easy because we are now on geekliferadio.com. If you tune in on Tuesdays, 9 a.m. Central, you will catch us playing on their website. It works kind of like internet radio, so if you tune in at that time, you get to listen to us from start to finish at 9 a.m. But if you tuned in late, hey, here we are.
So if they press like the like button, they'll get more shows like us?
Oh, no, it's not like Pandora. It's like it's just like one player. Think of more like iHeartRadio.
It's a radio station.
But
Yeah.
you do the same thing you like, you'll get more stuff like it.
No, it's mainly
Or
a
are you
select
just
group.
saying just like normal radio?
It's a regular
like,
radio
you're on
Like
this
normal
station.
radio.
There we go. I don't know why you picked internet radio.
Well, it's internet
It's a
radio.
bad analogy.
It's an internet radio station because I don't want these guys going to like 97.5. Like, what's this crap? I want the funny. Because some of our listeners are senior citizens. I don't know what's going on.
It's been a long day.
It's been a very long day. I've been driving a lot today with my normal job. So I know Josh commented on it earlier. Do you want to point it out for everyone else?
Oh, no. I'll leave this to Scott. I will lean back and everything.
This was my comment. Your upper arm is like white as snow, whereas your forearm is almost as tan as
Okay,
me.
never mind. Scott sucks. What the fuck is wrong with your arm?
So, for those of you watching on YouTube, as you can see, my arms are two different colors, especially from the forearm up. So,
You can also tell he doesn't pitch it.
yeah, if you notice, we actually set the white balance on the camera off my arm. So that way we can tell exactly like what level of white it should be to be translucent. So in my free time, and by free time I mean the majority of my week to fund this project, I am a courier. And that means that I drive, yes, I drive a little moped around as Josh is pantomiming. Or segways. I don't know what.
That did look like a segue. You were like this.
But the handlebars are like here.
Yeah.
The handlebars are like less than nipple length apart.
I'm sorry. Here.
Oh, that's an old
now,
like
now I'm like riding one
50s
of those
bike.
like big ass fucking like.
Yes, you
Oh.
are. I am awesome at this.
Oh, next one. Tune in when Cock Doc does charades. No, I drive in my car pretty much like 6 to 8 hours a day, and in driving, I have to be in a comfortable position because that's the only way anyone drives, and I end up putting my arm on the window, on the driver's side window, and so all my arm does is cook through the glass. And I made the mistake last week because my AC went out because I had to buy our awesome lighting rig instead. I rolled down the window to let the air in, and I left my arm out for like 4 hours in the sun. And so now I've got like this huge, just awesomely bronzed arm.
Underneath this.
But the other 90% of my body is white Irish. It's white Irish gold.
It is a good bronze. Like if you could get that solid tan, it wouldn't look too bad.
I would feel bad. Like, this is the type of tan that I feel like I need a gold chain with. Like, that's
And
how
like hair oil.
Like, that's how tan I see this arm. Like, to be fair, had stepped out of my car. I'd stepped out of the shower earlier this morning and noticed it. And I'm like, fuck, I'm going to be on camera. Because when I got out of the shower, I'm like, oh, what the fuck's wrong with my arm? Because the rest of my body is just as white as, the upper arm. And then there's just, like, this dark bronze, like, Mega Man arm on one side. And it's like, what the fuck happened? And it's like from the elbow, it cuts off. You can tell where my shirt cuts off. Because that's just white. Get it away from the mic. That's just all white meat right there, dark meat right there.
I'm trying to remember that episode of South Park where New Jersey takes over.
Oh God, Snooky.
Yeah, but what do they recall? Like, how he's like, he's just half from Jersey or something.
I can't remember what they called him.
I don't know.
All he knows is that I like gold in my ear with no gold in my ear. So, while I was driving today, I found the most eerie thing. It was before. How can I phrase this? I found half a car. I was driving down the freeway, and I found what I bet is the front bumper and the front axle of a car. It was on the side of, it was like,
How's the rest of it
I
get
didn't
anywhere else?
I didn't find the rest of it. That's the weird
That's
part of the
why
story.
I'm asking, like, how does it get anywhere else without the front axle?
Axle.
I can't talk.
Junk
Axle.
salvage, maybe?
They would take the rest.
But like, oh well, I see what Scott's saying. Like, did it fall off the back of a truck?
Yeah, like that's the only reasonable explanation.
But
Scott stole it.
It was weird because it was like the front axle was in one piece, and then like I want to say I can't even give distance. So like 5 seconds later on the highway, I found like a big chunk of front bumper, like the entire front bumper plus some of the siding. And I kept driving expecting to see more pieces of this car, and I didn't. And that had me worried. I'm like, what happened to the rest of this car?
It blew up
Sure
in
as hell didn't
space
drive
sometime.
away.
It's like John Mulaney when he's talking about how like when he was going to his apartment complex, he found an empty wheelchair, and it's just this very eerie thing to find because it's like you don't know what happened to the person in the wheelchair. Like, for the love of God, you hope it was a rapture, but something really awful could have just happened, and that's all that's freaking left. But I just see so many weird things driving. You know, and the half of car was today's. That and a guy that was wearing a dress shirt that was probably about my size, but he was probably about Corey's size from Game on Eileen, like just women's medium, like 5'4". And it was so long that he had like a robe belt tied around his waist. And at first I thought it was like, oh, maybe he's, like, I was thinking maybe I'm misseeing it and he's like a monk or something, someone Zen. Until I noticed the Knicks cap and sandals. And at that point I was fucking lost. I'm like, he doesn't have a sign. I don't know whether I'm supposed to give him money or not. But I don't know what to do with this person. Like, I don't have to interact with people at all, which is like
to the half the car.
take him to the half of the car. Like,
He's
just drive him there and, like, leave him, like, go, you can't come back until this makes sense. Like, get him half a car,
He has half a wardrobe.
a blender, and a pair of duct tape, and just try and make it work somehow.
What's a pair of duct tape?
A pair of duct tape?
It's almost duct tape.
Yeah. You know, like 2 rolls of duct tape?
It just needs that much duct tape.
Yes.
Just say 2 rolls.
2 rolls.
Thank you.
Now what?
Next topic.
Next topic would actually be our plug. So, we actually have a plug this week, and that plug is us. Yes, that's right, the 3 of us. We are now Amazon affiliated, so if you ever go to Amazon.com, we recommend that you go through the link in our show notes. That's right, you can go to cogstopproductions.com/CogTalkEpisodes, and you can click on the Amazon link under each one of our episodes to buy stuff through Amazon. It is 0 extra cost for you, but we do get a percentage of the sale from Amazon, so it helps us keep alive. And, not end up in half a car somewhere on a highway.
If you want to see better quality stuff, please help.
Help.
No one has that much money.
Bill Gates might.
I have so much faith in us.
Yes, you do.
But yeah, just cogstopproductions.com/cogtalk. Yep, cogstopproductions.com/cogtalk episodes. You'll see a big Amazon button. Click it, buy some stuff. It doesn't matter whether it's a pack of gum or, I don't know, half of a car or a pair of pants for a man on the highway.
Or at least the rest of a robe to go with that.
Yeah, the rest of the robe.
A clue.
A better cap than the Knicks. Just saying.
That really is like having half a cap.
Yeah. Yeah, just anything. You can buy anything. We get a small piece of it, and you get 0 charge to you. It is absolutely free to you. Feels good to plug yourself. That was something horrible to say. Goodbye, other viewers. Now that those dickbags are gone, I'm really thinking that we don't have much of an audience left. So, Scott, you were telling me about something that Valve did.
Yeah. And it happened just kind of like people woke up one day and it was there. They released Steam 2. Or, I'm sorry, Source 2.
Steam 2.
Yeah, Steam 2.
More free stuff. More bundles. Bundles all the time. Bundles for
that's
your
The
so dangerous.
orangest of orange boxes.
They released Source 2. That just kind of popped up out of nowhere.
And so Source is pretty much the engine that runs all the Valve games. It's what fuels... sorry. It's what fuels Half-Life, Portal, those are all...
Left 4 Dead, and what was the other one?
Team Fortress?
Team Fortress.
Those are all based in the Source engine.
Yes.
So when they released Source 2, that's kind of like when Unreal made their new engine, or the Quake engine is a better example, where it's like, hey, look at how much more we can do that we redid our engine.
Yep.
I'm losing my voice halfway through this.
Blessed silence.
You were just waiting for that. So this looks like maybe one of those Half-Life 3 confirmed things.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. It's Half-Life 3 confirmed, Portal 3, Left 4 Dead 3, Team Fortress 3, everything. And I for one, am incredibly excited.
Now, I wish, this is just my thoughts, I'm not sure if you're on the same page, but
Nope.
I think, not at all?
Nah.
I think that they should just wait to produce all those games and just surprise the market, throw them all out on Orange Box 2.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Mm.
Yeah, please. No.
Alright, fine. I think they're
And then
just
I was
gonna
like-
totally... Anyways, no, that's gone. We don't know what to do anymore.
We are awesome at mic etiquette. Yeah, but much like they did with the original Orange Box, where you had Half-Life episodes 1 and 2, in addition to that, you had Portal, you had Team Fortress, and you had a really, really ugly box to go with all that. But the box is full of such goodness. I think that would be the nice kind of, haha, we got you back thing for the community. Because everything is Half-Life 3. Half-Life 3 confirmed. You know, Valve can't count to 3. Because every game that they have is, Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead 2, and Portal 2, and Half-Life 2, and Team Fortress, and Team Fortress 2.
Or they just know when to move
And
on.
Team Fortress hats. and hats. And hats.
They're commodity.
They can make like an orange box of just hats.
No, the hats are like all limited edition. They're all rare. They're all worth money.
Until they put out the orange box for it. And it's like, hey, you remember all those things that you liked? Fuck you. But yeah, I think that would be the best kind of practical joke to play on the community.
Would it really be considered a practical joke?
Not, maybe a gag. Or something like that. Like, just, hey, you thought we couldn't do it. Well, guess what? Here's all 4 of them.
You know what they should do? They should just come out and say, yeah, Half-Life 3 is going to come out on this date. And everybody's like, oh, they're just BSing and, fuck this. And then on that day, Half-Life 3 comes out.
What will conspiracy theorists do then?
Yeah, I mean, what?
Half-Life 4.
No.
No, I'm saying, what's the punchline? What's the gag?
The gag is, you thought it was never coming. Well, here it is.
So they announce a release date.
And they actually follow through.
And they
That's the
actually follow
gag.
through. They say we're going to give you something, and then they give it to you.
Like every other game developer that's ever set over. Well, I was going to say every other.
Hi,
Yeah.
Duke Nukem fans.
Hi, Payday 2. Every store. Oh, no, we didn't get any pre-copies of that or anything like that. Because we're, stupid. We all talk like this and have really long faces when we talk. Morons. But yeah, and I wonder if Source 2 is going to play into the Source filmmaker, is it? Or Source creator? Steam came out with a Source filmmaker, Source creator, I can't remember the name of it right now, so internet, get off my balls. Where you can use the Source engine to make films. And stuff like that. And you can use their characters, like the Team Fortress guys and stuff like that. All of the from the Team Fortress videos were done in Source Filmmaker.
Nice.
So like the Meet the Pyro, I think Meet the Pyro might have had a little extra thing going on with it, with the Pyro's little happy trip. But, everything was made in using that engine. And if they've overhauled the engine, I wonder if they're going to release that again.
I don't know. I do know that within the code for Source 2 is something that mentions Xbox. Yes.
So,
Which, who knows what that could mean.
probably Xbox. What if they put a code in there that said Xbox and then they made stuff for the Xbox?
I don't know. That would be very interesting.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt everything. This is absolutely distracting. You can't see it if you're listening to the audio podcast, but where the fuck did you get a lollipop and when?
In my pocket about 5, just before we started talking about Valve, while you were doing the plug.
While I was doing the plug, you managed to sneak a lollipop pretty much onto the set and into your mouth, and I just now noticed it.
Yep. And you've been looking at me, and I've been like this.
This motherfucker.
Here.
No. Yeah, if you really want a lollipop, that thing that was supposed to be patronizing. So,
He sounded
and
so
it's like a
sincere.
little dum-dum pop, too. How many of those do you have?
Oh, this is my last one.
Of course he's going to tell you
You
that.
saved, what is that, like cotton candy for last?
It's one of the mystery flavored.
So you saved, like, the worst flavor for last?
That's not that bad.
It is the worst. The mystery flavor is all just the stuff that got, like, left over.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's the in-between. In the mixes. It's a mixture of 2 flavors.
Oh, that's right, because like when they do one batch and move on to the next, like, batch.
Yeah.
You got the mutt of all lollipop flavors in your mouth.
And it tastes fantastic. And it gives me a lisp.
Yeah, which is going to
Sure,
come
the
up great.
lollipop gives you a lisp.
As we wait for Scott to say the next thing and hopefully not screw it up.
Don't make fun of my speech impediment.
Yeah,
Each
oh,
impediment
look
and a
at,
lisp are two different things.
look at that. We start giving Scott shit about the lollipop, and it instantly went away.
I wouldn't say instantly.
Well, you're slow.
You're a jackass. Meh.
What topics? We are so professional. Thank you, YouTube, for giving us an outlet to do horrible things.
Us and millions others.
And webcam services. Yeah, they give plenty of girls the opportunity, and guys the opportunity, to do awful, awful things.
So,
Hey, make sure you tip. We want to hear that sound. Josh, we were talking about road trips earlier, weren't we?
yeah.
Segways are hard.
Okay, Bo.
That was Daniel Tosh,
Okay.
for the record.
It's the same.
What were we going to talk about road trips today?
Well, today, road trips are your favorite road trip stories. Just the funniest thing that's happened to you on a road trip.
Who wants to go first?
Oh, me.
Oh, go ahead, Josh.
Yes. So, Pat, a few years ago, we went on a trip along with 4 other people in a tiny van.
Motherfucker, you're bringing this one up.
Yeah. This van is one of your many named vehicles. This one happened to be the Ark.
Yep, it was a 1985 Mazda MPV that I had named the Ark. And this thing had like 4 horsepower.
I don't even know how we made it up because we headed towards Prescott, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we were heading towards in the direction of Prescott, Arizona, which requires a lot of uphill travel, like, gears 2 and 3.
And a mountain.
And someone left a gas cap at the very beginning of the trip.
Not a gas cap.
Oh no, it's the water.
It was
Yes.
the oil cap.
Oh, the oil cap. Oh, God. Yeah, it was the oil cap, so I don't know how we survived.
I was an
how
expert driver.
You were a lucky son of a bitch.
Yeah, well, considering that like semi-trucks hauling crap were passing us on the way up the mountain. Like, that was the most embarrassing thing, was the 6 of us with food, beer, and firewood that we never used. Going up a mountain. And a semi-truck hauling, like, gasoline and uranium passes us. Like, you're going too fucking slow, asshole. We could not go up this mountain, like, faster than 20 miles per hour.
I actually don't think we ever broke it. That was a big thing we were watching for too. After a certain point, and it's just to see if we could make it past 20 miles an hour. But later on in the trip is where I want to talk about, because we happened to go on this trip with multiple couples. You and me were the only 2 single guys because we're dumb, and the other 2 were
And just far too good looking to be held down by just one woman.
Fanfics go.
Oh, God. Anyways.
God damn it. I just finally caught up. I was too busy doing face poses. And then,
You know, right, you gave poor to Patrick.
we're
I
more
don't
like
care.
Starsky and Hutch, not Brokeback. We have bitchin' mustaches and killer rides.
Really?
No.
The best part is the story at the end of the day is about Pat not getting any, so... anyway.
Oh, I got it all right. In stereo.
Yeah. We ended up in one of these small cabins that were like the least cabiny cabins you could ever imagine, linoleum floors. As he mentioned, that we didn't need firewood because they had an electric gas fireplace. There were 2 rooms, and that was it.
It looked better than most hotel rooms that I've slept in.
That is true. That is a very nice
for
cabin.
a wood cabin.
Yeah. You had like, but they were so squished. It was like a miniature like suburbia
Yep.
made with Lincoln logs.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, the cabin was 2 bedrooms and then a living room and kitchen.
Yes.
And of course, each couple wanted the bedrooms.
Mm-hmm. To which I, on a base level, knew what was going to happen once we got where we were going. And I was already feeling like a little stuffy because the elevation bothers my sinuses. So I brought NyQuil because it puts me the fuck asleep.
The solution to all problems.
Yeah, sleeping.
Feeling sick? NyQuil. Feeling sleepy and you want to get there faster? NyQuil. Annoying ass child on an airplane? NyQuil.
You were the child.
Both. You know, we could replace the word NyQuil with brick. And that would work the same. Feeling stuffy?
What's gonna ask?
Feeling sleepy? Annoying ass child on a plane?
I like the sound effect for that one. Yeah, and so after a while, the couples have finally deemed it, enough time that me and Patrick would be asleep. They were half correct, as I enjoyed my NyQuil, which I offered Patrick. He never remembers that fact.
For the record, yes, you did offer it to me.
Yes,
And I said no because I'm not a medication guy at all. Like, I don't like, the worst thing I take in my life is aspirin, and that's like
How is NyQuil worse than aspirin?
It's because it's, I don't know. I just don't like things that are like sedatives and stuff like that, like medication. I had wisdom teeth taken out, and I didn't even take the Percocet that came with it because the first time I did it, knocked my ass out. I was like, well, I'm not taking that again. I just humped it for the most part, because Irish family. And
That
so when
means
you offered
whiskey.
it to me, I was like, no. Like, I didn't, I don't take the stuff usually, so I'm like, I'm not going to bother. And to my memory, you went, oh, well, that sucks. And I was convinced that you had chugged it because I could not find it afterwards. I thought you polished the damn thing off.
And why were you looking for it?
Because...
Say it.
Son of a bitch. Because for the rest of the night, all I heard was one couple that was vigorous at it. So I was hearing was ranking, 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 ranking. And the other couple that was a little bit shyer and coyer, so it was ranking, hee hee. So all I heard through the night was ranking, hee hee, ranking, hee hee, ranking, hee hee, hee. And I was looking for it because the living room was here in the center. And then the bedrooms came off like 2 Mickey Mouse ears. And I was in the living room, which means that I was getting it in stereo. And it was awful.
And you wanted to
Knock myself the fuck out.
admission on tape.
Yes, a brick could have helped me just as well in the situation, like we referenced earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty much the end of that story. Like, the rest of that was just drinking and awkwardness. And then realizing that I didn't have the oil cap on the way down the mountain, going, let's not tell anyone else. Because it was me and my other friend. I'm like, let's not tell anyone else. Let's just try and get back to Glendale. And we did. And then I told everyone. And then I got the car fixed. The Ark was barely lived long after that. My favorite trip, I went to Las Vegas with Big Dick Rob to go see a German band that some of you may know, Rammstein. And we had taken the road trip up there. And it was him driving, and what had happened was I had worked as a teacher at that time. I was an assistant teacher. And I had the summer off, and it was like the first day I had off. Big Dick Rob called me and he said, hey, I was going to Vegas with a buddy. I already have a hotel room and I have 2 tickets to the Rammstein concert, and he bailed. Like, at the last couple of days.
That's not much of a friend or a smart person.
No. Like, I guess he had some shit scheduled or something like that. I don't know what happened to other friend. But he goes, I have all this stuff, and I was planning on going with someone. He's like, I don't want to go to Vegas by myself.
He goes, scary.
Yeah, Vegas is scary.
Boring.
Yeah, you don't have anyone to enjoy with. You don't have any stories to go back with, which we have plenty of stories from
That's
that
why
trip.
you have hookers when you take the cards the guys hold out from you after dark.
No, if I remember correctly, Rob pretty much blew budget on this. Like, he had some spare money for cash, but it was a pricey concert. Because they had previously been banned for a while because of pyrotechnics.
Their sheer love of them.
Yep. So me and I agreed, and we ended up driving to Vegas like 3 days later. We go to the hotel, and we're doing the typical Vegas stuff. We gamble, we wander the strip, all this stuff, and the concert is off the fucking hook. Rob's a mosh pit guy. I'm not, so I ended up staying up in the assigned seats and videotaping the whole concert. While Rob managed to convince the guy to give him half of his mosh bracelet, so that way he can stick it in his watch, and flash it to the guy, and he got down to the mosh pit, which I'm not going to go get myself punched in the face in the concert, because every time I'm in the mosh pit, I get myself fucked up.
How many times?
3. One, I rolled an ankle, one, I twisted a knee, and one, I can't remember, but I know it's another leg injury. Oh, no, I got jumped on.
And the third one I don't remember, but people tell me it happened.
Yeah, the third one I don't remember too well. No, the third one I got, jumped on or something like that. Like, some guy was pushing forward, and some guy pushed him up, and he just landed on me. And at that point, I was like, fuck this, I'm not staying here if I'm going to get trampled every time I go to a goddamn concert.
It sounds like you stand still a lot in the mosh pit.
Well, it's because I'm not in the mosh pit. I'm in the standing room. I'm in the general admission area. And the mosh pit grows at concerts. And so, one minute I'm not in the mosh pit.
It's your fault for not being aware of your surroundings.
I'm watching the concert!
That's as much a part of the concert as anything else.
Fuck you. You've never been.
And?
Asshole. So anyways, the concert's awesome. Pyrotechnics are awesome. Till's, riding a big dick, shooting foam over the crowd, singing the song Pussy.
Foam.
Yes, foam. Sweet, delicious foam. Probably should not have said that. But anyways, concert goes off like a charm. It's a blast. And if I remember correctly, me and Rob were pretty much only there for 24 hours. We were only there for the concert. So we get in his car to drive back. And we get outside of Vegas and break down. Like, we are immediately outside of Vegas and just break down.
I wish I knew more about Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Just associate better images in my head.
It looks a lot like Arizona, but desert. We broke down, and, I think I was 20, 21 at the time. And I did the only thing I could do, which was call my parents. And I'm like, hey, I'm kind of in Vegas, and I'm kind of fucked. And my dad is awesome, and he ended up getting us a trailer and a U-Haul truck. And the hardest thing to do was me and Rob have to push this car onto a trailer.
We're talking what, 45 angle?
Yeah, it's a 45 angle. He had a big, heavy fucking Subaru. 6-cylinder, I don't know cars. It was heavy as fuck. And it was pretty much Rob sitting there, because I wanted to get home, and the only way we can get home is if we got the car in the trailer. So he's like, come on, man, get pissed, just do it, yeah, let's go. And I'm trying to help him, and it's fucking impossible to get this car in the trailer. And we finally get it on, and then we realize we don't know how to do the wheel covers to keep it in place. So we have to gingerly drive it to a U-Haul and have them do it for us. Because they have these net things, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to lay the net a certain way, get the car on the trailer, and pull the net over the tire and lock it in. So it keeps the tires in place, which keeps the car in place.
Mm-hmm.
And we did not know how, we didn't do that preemptively, so we got the car on the trailer, and then it's like, how the fuck are we supposed to get this thing
Isn't
to
it
work?
like under and over?
It was just one of those ones where it's like a flap, and the flap was supposed to be laying facing forward, and then when you roll the car into the divot, these come through the divot, or over the tire that's in the divot, and lock into the other side of the divot.
So under and then over and lock in place.
No, it's on the opposite side of the divot.
Oh.
And we had to have them in the divot. So we put the tires on top of the fucking net that's supposed to hold them in. So we go through this giant ordeal. I'm sorry, I missed a piece. When the car originally broke down, we had to walk to places to try and find out where we were. And we had called my dad up, who had gotten us the U-Haul truck and a hotel, but the U-Haul truck wouldn't be ready until the next day. And so we had to huff it to a hotel, and we ended up finding a bus. And as soon as we got on the bus, we knew it was going to be an adventure, but also a problem, because the bus driver was like, "Hey, I gotta go. Like I'm on break." He's like, "You can come in the bus, you can hang out because it's air conditioned." Like, but I can't go anywhere for 20 minutes. So like, no problem, that's cool. And we sat and we bullshit with the bus driver, and he's like the coolest guy ever. That might be overstating it. But he was a cool guy for the situation we were in. And when we had taken off on the bus, he had picked up a couple other people, and we had made it to a mile outside of where our hotel would be. And some lady went to get on the bus at one stop, tripped, fell, and cut herself. And instantly the driver's like, "That's a biohazard, I have to call another bus." So he couldn't go any further because there was now blood on the bus, and they don't know whether it's infectious, and had to clean the bus on the spot. Which means that we had to wait for a second bus. Like, this whole adventure was just like one fucking pounding after the other. And finally, we got on the way, we got the car, we got the U-Haul, and it was pretty much me and Rob going through the mountains, not having a radio, so we had to improv songs and just sing songs on the spot all the way home.
Isn't this also the story with a sandwich?
Did somebody eat a gas station sandwich?
Yes. We stopped just inside of Arizona. We needed gas, and there was a road that pretty much said gas 4 miles this way. And we had taken the U-Haul truck through this pretty much sketchy dirt road into this one place that was like a gas station, and it was a sandwich shop. And the rest of the places around were like trailers. And Rob goes, "This is a weird place." He goes, "I'm going to Foursquare it," because Foursquare was in. And as he pulled it up on Foursquare, there was only one other review. And the review said, "If we are never found again, this is where we were last." That's how desolate this fucking place is.
I'm sorry, the way you described its setup is and it arose from the ground a sandwich shop.
It pretty much looked like it.
Trailers just started
Picture every rundown shop you ever see where a cop's getting a coffee in a movie, like Dusk Till Dawn, any one of those You Ain't From Around Here movies.
Mm-hmm.
That was a sandwich shop. But I will say that was the best fucking sandwich I've ever had in my life.
Do you remember what that sandwich was?
Absolutely not. I don't remember the sandwich. This is a tribute. Greatest sandwich in the world. Ow.
Yes, I understood it as a
Scott didn't.
Then it's
gave me-
Scott.
Scott looks like he's sitting on one. So I had a great sandwich.
On a sandwich?
Why are you sitting on the sandwich?
Son of a bitch.
I have Asperger's.
More like ass Rubens.
No, I was sitting on one when the topic was brought up, and then you guys were
Ass
like,
BLTs.
"Hey, there's these trips where we, went long distances with our friends, and I've never done that before. Mine's very mild compared to that."
I'm going with my family. I'm going with my family.
No, it's still a
I'm
friendship.
picturing more like, so I was riding my bike down to the convenience store in second grade.
Oh no, it's still
Tell me
family.
two toes, welcome me.
Me and one of my buddies used to work at the hockey arena. One of my buddies used to work at the hockey arena, and we had a Halloween hockey game, and Taco Bell was doing the black tacos for Halloween. They were black shell tacos.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because for those of you who don't eat at Taco Bell and hear Scott say they were doing black tacos,
They're filled with fried chicken.
I was picturing a waffle.
Okay.
Scott, you rightfully deserve to hit Josh for that. Even though I brought it up. Go on.
So they were the black shelled tacos, and it was about 10 p.m. when we got out. They were only going to be doing it for 2 hours. So we went back to the house, picked up one of our friends, and took off, and we hit every single Taco Bell we could. And each Taco Bell would only give you one taco per person in the car. We ended up with like 30 tacos.
It's scary that you knew where 15 Taco Bells were.
10.
There's 3 of you?
Yeah.
How's that scary? It totally makes sense.
GPS helps too.
Yeah, but Taco Bell's... Sorry, you pointed at Scott because he's, a bigger guy. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're saying why he knows all the Taco Bells. But Taco Bell gives you the shits. So he would be smaller. It'd be... But then again, before we started, you ate a cake.
That's why it doesn't give him the shits. He's blocked up.
Exactly. Your body must feed off stuff like that. If we gave you something like asparagus, you would, die.
So we're driving around. It's about 1 a.m., and we've each eaten about 3 tacos. We're sitting here like, we have 20 tacos left. What are we going to do with these? And one of the guys sees somebody walking down the street.
Oh, God.
So he rolls down the window.
Scott, now keep in mind that you might not be past the limit of, pretty much the expiration date of the law that I can't remember.
It's been 7 years.
7 years. And that person remembers you, and now they have a hook for a hand. But continue on your horrible, horrible story.
Well, he didn't actually hit the guy with the taco. It went sailing past him. But he did chuck it at him. And we spent about the next hour disposing of those tacos.
In that fashion.
Not necessarily.
So, if you guys were the drive-by that killed Tupac and or Biggie, I can't remember which one got shot in a drive-by, they would still be alive.
Yes.
Whereas if you were the one driving JFK, everyone would still be dead. Matter of fact, more people would be dead.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite travel stories is we had to dispose of 21 tacos in a number of different...
Well, no, because you ate 3.
No, yeah.
We each ate
they had
3.
like 20 tacos left, and now he's saying they disposed of 21 tacos.
Okay, I said we had like 20, which is an about number, and then I specified 21. Don't you try to grammar Nazi me.
I'm not grammar Nazi. I'm just pointing out you say numbers, and then they change.
Technically, I think he gets to do something like that to you, because you threw tacos at bystanders.
Who's walking around the streets at 1 a.m. in the morning?
Hobos.
Obviously, no, this guy was not a hobo.
On Halloween?
A lot of people.
Not at 1 a.m.
People coming back from parties.
Not at 1 a.m. and not where
Parties,
we were.
bars.
People that are busy doing better things with their lives than, fucking throwing tacos. Black shell tacos that disappear into the night and then hit you with fucking fake squirt gun meat and cheese and just awful rotten lettuce.
We did think we were going to get pulled over. There was one instance where we had an airsoft gun in the car, and I didn't know about it. So I picked it up, and I was looking at it. It was a shotgun. I was like, oh, dude, this is really cool, blah, blah, blah. And then we hear sirens, and we see lights. So I immediately, shove it down to the ground underneath the seat, and we just stop. Fire truck behind us.
How would you explain that to the cop? Like, what are you doing out tonight? I saw you with the shotgun. Oh no, this is just an airsoft. We're throwing tacos at people. That's the real weapon, officer.
He escalates.
Yeah.
We've been donating tacos to those who might be hungry. But we've been doing it very, very fast.
I just hope that you had to go through the learning curve of throwing a taco out of a moving car, and at one point one of those things just caught itself in the wind as he threw it
And came
just
back at the
winged.
windshield.
Yes.
It did. It wasn't my I wasn't throwing the tacos.
I sure as hell hope you weren't throwing around your black taco, Scott. It was worth it. It was totally worth it.
Oh, you think it's worth it. Anyways, that was my story.
I can't take you out anymore, to nice places like Burger King or Taco Bell.
You shouldn't have been able to take me out in the first place. That's your own damn fault. You let me fool you.
For shame. Well, before Scott incriminates himself with any other things, I think that's the end of the episode. I think that's what we're going to leave off on. If you need to know anything about him, his name is Scott Newbill, and he lives in town. If you were ever hit with a black taco on a Halloween night after a hockey game, please contact us at cogstopproductions@gmail.com.
No. Contact me. Scott.cogstop@gmail.com. Or if you want to tweet at me about it, let me, if you want to start yapping, New Bill Scott on Twitter. Bring it.
Yes, and
Not with bullets.
Well, what, Twitter bullets?
Twitter bullets.
Twitter bullets. All those are at fuck yous. You can catch me on the main Twitter page. I am at cog_stop. You can catch Josh over here at the mic tapping son of a bitch. Best Twitter handle ever, at @manmustevolve.
It's so good I don't even have to say it myself.
Yes, no, it's that impressive. Make sure you check out our Facebook at facebook.com/cogstopproductions. Additionally, let us know what you think of this video setup if you're watching it on YouTube, at youtube.com/cogstopproductions. We are learning film slowly, so if you notice, we're in a little bit of a better angle than when we were on the first episode on Cog Talk 18. Additionally, we have a little bit better lighting. We did the white balance more, so that way me and Josh look way more important than Scott. And, because we had to make it fair. I mean, he's got basketball and tacos. Also remember to check out www.cogstopproductions.com/cogtalkepisodes so that way you can click that Amazon link and give us money so that way we can make more awful jokes. And signing off, I'm Patrick.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Josh.
And thanks for sticking the fuck around.
You're a trooper.
For more episodes, updates, and other projects, check us out at cogstopproductions.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at Cogstop Productions and follow us on Twitter at cog_stop.